All right. Hi. This is Coming Home to Ourselves. This is the fifth episode, if I'm not mistaken. And today we have Kiran Zimmerman. Can you say your name as you say it, though? Because I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's Kiran Zimmerman.
Kiran. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. So that's who we have today. Not what I said, but what he said. And your pronouns are he, him, right? He,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so now we know. So this is the fifth episode of Coming Home to Ourselves, and today I want to interview you, Kiran, about your process of discovering, exploring and discovering your gender identity, your masculinity, and yeah, just your identity, as a man, and how has that been for you, and how has our community, our spiritual community, supported you and stuff and that and helped you, and just what your experience has been. Yeah, so I guess overall, let me feel into this. Yeah, that would be just wherever you want to start. Yeah, how would you say that your experience has been?
Yeah, I was starting somewhere that's huge, because basically it's a feeling I have since my childhood, since I'm young. I already always had this feeling. It's just that I always trying to conform myself with the rules of society. And yeah, I was sure that, the body we have, it's make who we are. And it took me a lot of years to understand that it's not true. And some years ago, I even wanted to, change my body, take hormone, do something like that. But for me, it was not compassionate for my body because I had a lot of health issues. So it's not compassionate now. But yeah, when I came in this community, after some months, I started to really understand, the difference between divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. And here I had no other choice, to really embrace the fact that I have divine masculine energy. So yeah, that was really, really nice. It's really, I don't know, it's not since a long time now. It was like November, October that I really stopped really claiming my divine masculine. And every day I go deeper. It's really amazing, yeah.
That's good. So how does that feel to you?
That feel that it's like coming back home, like, yeah. Before I was trying to work with the feminine energy, it always felt ugly and bad and like not natural at all, like really weird. And now it's feel like, oh, I can breathe, I can be myself, I can just express what I need and I just can be myself. It's really about that, yeah. I really match now my energy and I can work with this energy. And I feel now how powerful I am because I embrace myself.
Yeah, that's really healing and peaceful. Yeah, congratulations. So yeah, definitely. um, I want to ask as well, how does it feel to, how would you describe the difference between, like you trying to work with feminine energy versus like you trying to work with masculine energy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you trying to be a woman versus you being the man who you are, who you know you are. What is the difference between how that feels or how that experience is? Yeah.
Yeah, I understood that the difference when I was watching, the course of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine from Jeff and Shelia. I really got that. It was really it took me a while to understand that, but it's really about, be radiant or be present. It's really about that. And I got that all my life. I was like trying to be like other women, around me, and was trying to live in the same kind of energy of radiance. It's never worked. I always, I felt like kind of monster. because I felt that it was something so ugly with me when I was doing that. But I didn't got that at this time that when I was doing that, it's just because it was totally not me. That's why it felt so ugly, you know? This kind of, I don't know, this energy is totally not mine. So it's kind of trying to work with something that is totally not accurate, not appropriate. I can't even describe because now I really feel that is totally not working like that, because the energy of a divine feminine is totally not my own energy. You know, I really feel that a divine feminine is more about radiance. It's, I don't know, I feel for me it's a lot about love and light and compassion and really deep peace. And I don't know, I really have this feeling of deep love, but in a really nice manner, you know, like, I don't know, really like peaceful and soft. And for the divine masculine, it's still about love, but just maybe a little bit different. It's really more for me, I really feel about be present, you know, about, you know, go in the word and just stand and have absolutely no doubt that we are children of God. We can stand, we can be powerful, and we can share love with others. For me, it's really about that, about going the word and stand and share this God's love. It's really about that. And you know, when I was trying to understand this, how the divine feminine and masculine work together, for me, my understanding is really that, you know, I can go in the word and stand and share because I know that my divine feminine will be there at home and all the space for me. And I know that when I will come home, there will be someone. I really feel that I will never be alone. I will always feel supported. Yeah, that's how I feel that.
Thank you for that. That was very, yeah, very descriptive of like divine feminine, divine masculine energy. And yeah. So you said that Jeff and Shalee, so it was Jeff and Shalee's course in sexual manifestation that helped you? Is that, so it's a three-part course, right? One part divine masculine, explaining like what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
Second part explaining what it is to be a woman. The third part explaining it was the dynamics and interactions between the two, right? Yeah. And that one's currently available for people who buy their all classes pass of Twin Flame for Twin Flame Ascension School. So if you invest in Twin Flame Ascension School, you know, and you fully pay into it, or whether it's, I will correct this if it's an error, but whether it's like the whole chunk of change at once, or whether it's all the installments, which is what I did, you will receive that, you know, at the end of that. And yeah, I've seen it too. It's a really divine course, so check it out if you have like questions and issues, or you just want to explore your gender identity. This is a really good course to do so. So that has helped me a lot too. And I have another question too about this in terms of like, yeah, like gender exploration, you know, or you being yourself, you know. So obviously, you know, there's two polarities, right? The masculine and the feminine are the two polarities. How do you relate to those polarities and that fact that there's just, you know, there's divine masculine, there's divine feminine? Like, how do you, what do I want to, or how do we really want to say this? Like, do you feel, basically, what is the difference between telling someone like, this is what you are, you know, and you have to be this certain way, versus sharing with someone the truth, you know what I'm saying? Of how like there's divine masculine, divine feminine, versus being controlling and being like, you have to do this. You know, how have you felt? You know what I mean? With Twin Flames Universe. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You mean also about, yeah, about how you should act because you're divine masculine or divine feminine, right?
Yeah, and that's right. And then yeah, that pretty much is summing it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for clarifying.
It's really, it's something there is something I understood some weeks ago, is that for example, the society, we say that there is only two sexes, so the masculine and feminine, and we also put the gender here. And after, when you go more far, you say that, oh, our soul are this energy and this energy. And the point is, I always was upset because I always thought that, the man need to act like that, the woman like that. And after there is a difference between our soul and our physical body, I never got, I was always upset because I was like, why, it's like that in physical, like so upsetting, and why it's like that in soul. And I understood something last time. It's just that, it's like every people somewhere is conscious about the divine feminine and divine masculine. And they're really conscious about that, about the kind of role, like, that the masculine, maybe more stand, more go outside to stand in the world. And the feminine is really about full love and radiance and, like, ball of light. I really like this picture. And the point is that I think that through religions, through generation and society, we just have the same thing, the masculine and feminine energy, but they kind of make a mistake of putting a body on that, putting some reaction, some role or some manner to be. Like, there is I think it's not since a long time, like some decades or no, we say that, oh, the girl, they need pink, and the boy need blue things. It's really about that, about putting, more layer of what we need to do, how we need to be, depending of our gender or sex or identity. But at the end, the only thing that is matter is our soul, what we need to do, what we need to bring in the world, how our energy works. Because at the end, it's just energy. It doesn't matter how physically we are. I have an eye polish, I have a hearing. It doesn't matter if I have long hair, I have pink or that. My energy will still be the one of a man. And if I go in another life or my previous life, I had a man body, I had woman body. So that means it doesn't matter in this life which body I have, because my soul, my energy will still remain the same. So it doesn't matter my body. That's why now I really accept this body. I accept that I allow myself to express in the way I like. So if I like something that is pink, that is for woman, and that doesn't matter. I just take it and I do, and that's fine. Because it's not the around us that's define us. It's what is within us.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah, with that question. So yeah, thank you for identifying that. So yeah, so in terms of twin flame, like in terms of how, oh, I know what I want to ask. Yeah, so the question is, so since you've claimed that you're a man and you claim your masculinity and everything like that, how have your relationships changed in your life?
Oh, there is a funny thing I want to share, because that is not really close relationship with that. But what changed is how I see people around me, because I always had this kind of attraction with people, because I was attracted to this man or this man and this man. And when I claimed my divine masculine, I understood deeply that I was attracted with both kind of man, male body. I'm talking about that. I was attracted to two kind of men, and one part was the male body with woman energy, with a feminine energy, and the other one with masculine energy. And I got that for the feminine energy is because I was seeing my twin flame who has a male body, I was really attracted by that. And for the man with divine masculine, I was attracted by that because I recognized myself. in them. Sometimes I was like freezing. I was like, whoa, this man is so amazing. I was really so attracted by them. And now I know it just because I was so attracted by myself, by my true self. It is really amazing feeling. And when you discover that, when you go deeper in this feeling, it brings so much love, so much freedom about expressing who you are. And it just like, I feel really more powerful, and everything around me started to change to align with that, because there is no, even there is one funny thing. I had a class session in Taekwondo, and we was two women body. We was two women, and normally when you talk in French, normally you need to speak like if there is a special rules that they say that you say when there is only woman, you will say this word in the manner like that. But he was saying something like if there was a man around, and after he correct himself, but I was like, oh, it's not the only one. And sometimes people have this mistake, they call me as a man, or they talk about me as a man. But that changed, yeah. It's really funny because sometimes I get like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, basically it's just because I found deep peace here, and so I have more peace in my relationship with other people.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's awesome. And what did you notice differences in like how you related to like your past differently, or did the past kind of like make sense once you realized like, oh, like I was a man this whole time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for for a lot of things, I really found more peace because it's just like, all my life I was trying to adapt myself to people expectation, because although I'm autistic, and it's just like my mechanism of survival, it's just to adapt myself to expectation of others. And for that, I was trying so hard to adapt myself, and trying so hard, to kind of adapt myself to this body, because this body has feminine energy. So I was trying like, oh, I have also feminine energy, and I was trying so hard. But yeah, it was like, I even don't know how to describe that, but that was not feeling appropriate, because I was trying to do like other women would do, in the way that they will do, in order to have radiance. So I was trying to do it the same way. For example, to do makeup, to put makeup, or to put wear or clothes or stuff like that, Then it's totally okay to do as the manner you want, but the divine feminine has a specific way to do that, because it's in order to radiance. It's really, I don't know how to describe that, but I really feel that there is a specific way, and I was trying to do this specific way, and I always failed, because I can't. I'm not. I have not this energy for that.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've tried to I've explored with God, like talking with God and everything, feeling into it in my heart, right? How do you describe that? Um, and yeah, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's about like how, a lot of the time I feel like it's about how you do it versus, like what you do exactly, like, and yeah, the feminine, exactly, I feel the same way as you. Like the feminine has sort of like a flow and like a radiance, and the masculine is like this present and solid. It's about being like present and solid, and it's just something that you just have to feel. It's kind of, yeah, c'est un je ne sais quoi, because like
Yeah.
we we don't really know what masculine and feminine even is. Like we don't even know. Like like Jeff and Shalia are sort of pioneers in really getting to what the divine masculine, divine feminine are, like in essence, right? Like, you know, as God created them, as they are in their divine image, versus the messed up bullshit that you were speaking about, where people said expectation, body. So that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to describe the Course in Sexual Manifestation a little bit more, and yeah, the value you get from it, you receive, and also, gosh, what was that other thing? I don't remember. Did you have anything that you that came to your mind as I was saying this?
I also forgot what I wanted to say.
Okay, okay. Hold on, let me check in.
I wanted to add, it's just that it's also why we do that. Because the divine feminine and divine masculine can do exactly the same thing, but it will not be for the same reason, and it will not be for the same in the same way. For some, sometimes, when I put that, or I put makeup, or I take care of my clothes and that, is to feel really more empowered, to really feel more powerful and more strong, and really more present, like really strong, like a warrior that stand. But the divine feminine, when they put makeup, when they take care about how they dress, it's really to radiance more, to shine more. It's really, also this kind of difference about why we do that and that. I really also feel that. Because at the end, it's exactly the same, but not the manner we do, not the reason why we do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, thank you for describing that. Yeah. And yeah, let me see. Where else are we feeling like going? Is there anything else that you wanted to share about your experience of kind of claiming your masculinity? Did you feel like, do you identify what you're doing as like a gender transition? Or do you identify yourself as like transgender, or do you not? Like, how do you understand your identity?
Yeah, some days ago, I was really in the community of transgender. It was like, I don't know, 3 years ago, something like that. Because I was like, there was something wrong with me. I'm not only a woman, there was something wrong. So I was sure that I was also a man. And after I was like, okay, I am both, and that's it, Because I really felt this energy at equilibrium within me. But I was like, oh, there is something wrong. So I got close to transgender community. And I started to want to change my body, because I was like, oh, okay, I maybe need to change something. I will be better, because it's mainly what they do in this community, and it's fine, but for them. But for me, I didn't find that appropriate. So I started to work on a deeper level, and after I started to accept my body, because it's also was about that. And yeah, so, and although when more I was loving my body and accepting that this is my perfect body that God gave to me, it's never prevent me to work and do what I want, so that's fine. And it even don't prevent me to have like sex as I want, because my twin flame has the divine as a masculine body, So, but the point is that yeah, more I was healing, more I was like stopping to consider myself as transgender, because it's like autistic. It's like, before I was saying, oh, I'm autistic. And after I got that, it's really more than that. It's more than just a word of something. It's really kind of that. And, every time that I transcend kind of word, condition or something, I stop to call myself like that. It's just kind of a part of my identity, but it's not really. So I don't call myself no a transgender, because it's not make sense for me, because I don't really care about that. I really feel my masculine energy. I'm really aware about that, and I will work with that. But that doesn't really matter how people around me see me, or if they call me transgender or not. I don't really care. But so that's why. And although I never really wanted to transition, once I wanted to take testosterone, but after I was like, I had so many health problems, I can't do that to my body. I also wanted to remove my breast, because I had a really deep upset with that. And finally, I also healed that. So now the only thing I want, you know, it's just that I want to have more fit body. But I also understand that this fit body with more, you know, muscle and that, it's just because I'm working on healing myself with food, with doing exercise and sport. And when I will really go more deep in that, I will have this body I want, but I still have no this perfect body. So it's just that, yeah. But the thing that upset me the most, and I heal not a long time ago, it's about hair body. Because it's something so deep in the society, you know, that, for example, woman body should have absolutely no hair body, and the man body can have them. And I was really upset this last month, because I was like, I am divine masculine. Why I can't have hair body on my body? It's not fair. And now I let it go and I heal that, and I don't care anymore now. So, but that is really huge upset I had, yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah. So, yeah, and how did you feel as you went through that? Like, and how did you get through that upset, you know, versus like staying in it and just managing and coping, versus like you healed through it, right? And you feel pretty complete there.
Yeah, it took a while to heal that because it was really deep upset. Because I grew in my family with my sister that and my mother that was removing all her body, or you know, doing stuff like that. And I got that very early when I was young. So you know, for me it was like, oh, that's what we should do. That's the expectation. And to let go of that, this took me a lot of time. And you know, it was like, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago. Uh, Once I was like, but you know, I never since years. Oh, since no, I never saw that. Yeah, I was like, oh, you know, I never saw my body in a natural way with all the hair body, everything I should have. I never saw that because I always was removing one or two, something like that. I did that since I'm a teenager. So basically, I never saw my body in a natural way. So like 2-3 months ago, I was like, okay, let's grow everything and we'll see. So, and I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, I healed completely and was like, okay, that's fine. No, I can cut what I don't like. But just I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, I will keep all this hair body until I heal everything.
I see. Oh, so you were used to removing it, but then you were like healing it and being like, no, I'm just going to keep it for now, and that kind of thing. The body hair. Yeah, that's cool. That's wonderful.
Because I was like, God gave me this body and I need to accept it. And when I will accept, I can change and remove, that doesn't matter. But I really felt at this time that I first need to accept my whole body as it is in a natural way. Because I mean, and I also got very upset because at this time I was very upset because I got that I was removing some hair body only for other people, because they are more comfortable with that, because they prefer like that and that. And finally, if I didn't do that for me, it's not feel good, you know, because I didn't want it to do something for others. I wanted to do things for me. That's why also I do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good. Very wonderful. Yeah, testimonial there of your healing. And another thing too I want to talk to you about is that you did MAP, right? The mind alignment process. Yeah. How did that factor into your healing of like your, you know, claiming your masculine energy, like healing your masculinity and all that?
Oh, I even don't know where to start with the MAP session, because I still don't know. It's like it's impact all my life. It's really, it's basically my MAP session was, you know, we say that MAP session healed core body, core trauma, and everything that is built on this core trauma dissolved. But the point is that my core trauma was when I was even not born. No, I was still in the in the belly of my in the womb of my mother, and and the trauma was that I have an umbilical cord around my neck. And I got, after weeks that passed after this map session, I got that because I have a genetic diseases and I had a lot of health problem, and I got that all this problem was building on that. Everything, also the fact that I didn't accept it, my divine masculine, everything was building on that, on this first trauma that, you know, somewhere I need to die first in order to be perfect. Because I was almost dying, you know, I was blue when I go out. I was almost dead. And after I was dying, you know, I was close to death a lot of time in my life. All my childhood, I had a really weird health problem that doctor didn't know. So I started to have a very high fever, but very, very high. You know, close that your brain is just burning. And no one knew what it was. It was, yeah, I got it was really close for that. And just like somewhere about acceptance, that I was not accepting this life with this body. I think it's really about that. All my life I needed to heal the block with my body, that I need to accept my body, that my body is not weak. And you know, if you see the relation with the divine masculine, it's really funny because the genetic diseases I have, it's mainly only for woman body because of hormone. So basically, I thought that if I had my perfect body, had a male body, I would never had this whole problem. So that's why also I was upset about that. And also I had this belief that a female body is weak. I really had this belief because my body was weak because of these diseases and that. And I healed that. And yeah, thanks to this map session, I really understand that. Yeah, my body was weak because I believing that. I was believing that my body is weak because it's female body. I'm limited somewhere. But I healed that, and now I feel that so strong. There is absolutely no limitation. I'm strong as people with male body. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah. I know I can relate to that too. So thank you, you know, about like the feminine energy being seen as weak, but that's not true. And about, yeah, just healing trauma being really important for claiming my divine feminine and not feeling like it's threatened all the time, right? So that's good. Thank you for sharing that. And also, did you, let me see, and how do you, like, since claiming that you're a man and everything like that, your masculinity, has that like changed how you relate to your biological family at all? Or yeah, just how has that shifted at all?
Yeah, the point is, I was expecting that you would switch this question because the point is that I'm still asking for clarity here because you know I'm healing this last week the blogs about doing my own way, but doing the things as I want and not following rules or things like that of expectation. And I really feel that, you know, for example, in this community or in spiritual community, I'm really aware of my divine masculine, so people call me he and him. But outside, for example, with my family of origin, they still call me she and they still call me Gael and not Kiran. And I'm not really upset with that because that's also who I am, you know, because in this life I'm born like that, you know, and it is true that when you have a divine masculine, it's he, but also when you have a woman body in the culture, it's she. So I'm not really upset, but I'm trying to work now on the manner to put that together because I still don't really know what I want to do. For example, I want to change my name and I want to include Kiran because it's also my spiritual name. And I really want to change that. But for example, I even not sure that I want to change the sex on my ID card because that's not really matter. I mean, it's the sex, so yeah, that's true. I have a female body. That's it. it will change nothing. If I go at hospital and that, they will still be writing that I have a female body. So I don't really care about that. But I'm working on that, about knowing what I really want and the changement I want. But I mean, I think it's take time. Lately I asked my roommate to call me Kiran. And I think that next time I see my twin flame, I will ask that too. But I don't really care that people call me he or she, because for me, the divine masculine and divine feminine, it's something that we can't even define. We can't put word on that. So if they call me she, he, somewhere it's still like, everything is perfect, because it's still not really, I don't know how to say that, how express that. But for me, there is no word that can describe a divine masculine. I only know what is it because I experiment that. And people don't know, so I don't really care about how they call me. And even if I say he, it will not really match that too, because it's so divine, so deep, that you can restrict that to one word. You know what I mean? It's very hard for me to explain that.
Yes. I know what you're saying. Like, it's you, and you're helping me too a lot, because it's easy to get caught up in what people believe it is to be a woman versus what, for example, for me, versus what it is inside. And it's really important to always source who you are from within you, and not to do it from expectations, or ideas of the mind, ideas of the mind that you've accumulated, in this life. So yeah, I can relate to that. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, it brings a lot of relief to me. And yeah, I just remember there was some episode, I think in TFAS, where Shalia was saying, I don't know, like Jeff was experimenting with calling Shalia he or something like that. I don't remember which class it was, but
I didn't watch it.
oh, but yeah, he's talking about that, and he's just like, yeah, it just feels completely not resonant, Like, I mean, it's just like calling, yeah, it feels like, well, that's not who I am. It doesn't resonate at all. But I just want to relate to your journey too, because I wanted to just go completely firm boundary on all of that, but inside I couldn't, because I felt like yeah, I would always just call myself he in my inner dialogue and stuff like that, because I felt I couldn't escape it, basically, and I was so attached to it, for different reasons, like what you're saying about saying that women were weak. So for me, yeah, it's been a healing journey of really seeing that it's okay to completely claim myself as a woman, and it's not ridiculous, you know, because people might say, yeah, you're born with this body and we called you this for a while, so isn't it kind of silly? And you're just like, no. That's been my experience. But yeah, no, I feel like it's important to share that. Yeah, I agree. Like, wherever you are in your healing journey, or however you understand yourself, like whatever feels good to you at the time is good, because that shit can change, and that's okay.
It's exactly that I am working, because so my twin flame, it's a divine feminine in a male body, and sometimes you can hear me talking about him or her, because sometimes I'm talking more about the energy, because I'm more connected with the energy. Sometimes I'm more connected with the body, you know. But that's why I'm always kind of, I'm not upset, not anymore, but I still would like some clarity. So I'm still asking God, and I have more and more clarity. But for me, I'm not referring in the same thing, even if it's the same word. That's why I don't really feel that this word really matter. But yeah, for me, I sometimes I switch. But I still don't know, I'm still learning to know that it's fine if I switch. Maybe one time I will take 1 year, maybe not. But that's my way. It's just how I feel. So finally, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's a good example of just surrendering and being really present with yourself. like how you feel right now and not trying to like force yourself to
Mm.
be a certain way, but just letting things unfold. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you sharing. Um, and then other than that, I just I feel like we're nearing a complete point. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say or share with the world about, this topic about yourself?
Oh, it's a huge topic.
I know.
I don't know. I think the most important thing is just to connect to ourselves and do what we feel, what we want, and what feels good for us. Because at the end, it's only word. At the end, it's only, I don't know, makeup and dress. At the end, it's only something physical. It doesn't really matter. And at the end, it's only this life. In the other life, you didn't have the same. So what it should matter so much that we forgot within us, our own soul, our own energy, our own self.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, so it's just yeah, we're like remembering who you are inside and excuse me, my voice is getting froggy. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. Cool. So, yeah, thank you so much, Kiran, for participating in this, coming home
Thank
to
you
our
to
town.
invite me here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it was a pleasure. And yeah, I look forward to sharing this and, seeing how it helps people and who we can, yeah, yeah, who we can reach with a message of, love.
Yeah,
So, cool.
that's true. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Okay, bye everybody. I'm Sage with I'm Sage with Coming Home to Ourselves, and see you next time.